It is quite amazing how much love Katt Williams has received from both well-known figures and regular people. Do you recall that famous interview he did at his club that went viral and attracted attention from all around the world? Who is the new member of the Katt Williams fan club, you ask? The one and only Sylvester Stallone. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Rumor Spill. Given their disparate histories in Hollywood, this may come as a surprise, but there are whispers circulating that Stallone is about to divulge some tasty insider knowledge in addition to assisting Williams. So gather your popcorn because, should Stallone reveal the truth, this clash is sure to go down in history. The shocking truth is that, despite Spielberg being the film's director, the studio actually owns the rights to Jaws, so even though Stallone is a Hollywood icon thanks to his iconic roles in the action-packed Expendables trilogy and the Rocky film series, it's also not because everyone got along well, which they did, but rather because everything was intended to be neutral and nobody had an advantage over anybody else in the quest to protect rights through creativity. The renowned Rocky Balboa, played by Sylvester Stallone, was conspicuously absent from Michael B. Jordan's Creed III last year. Jordan and Stallone had been mainstays in the first two Creed films. In fact, Stallone's role in the 2015 movie earned him an Oscar nomination. Rocky's name is referenced in Creed III, but he is not there, causing fans to speculate about his whereabouts. Rocky's original star, Sylvester Stallone, voiced his concerns about the direction Creed III was going. He revealed that he wasn't a fan of the film's darker tone, preferring his heroes to overcome hardship without going into dangerous situations. He regretted the circumstances and bemoaned the direction the film went, saying it strayed from his original plan. Different approaches were taken in the partnership between Stallone, Michael B. Jordan, and Irwin Winkler. Stallone argued for a more positive approach, arguing that people deal with enough gloom in their lives. It's not just Stallone who has difficulties. The actor who plays Adonis Creed, Michael B. Jordan, had a different idea for the movie. He wanted to show off Adonis without relying on Rocky, which was a logical step from their dynamic collaboration in the first Creed film to Adonis going it alone in Creed II. For Jordan, this was a big step forward because he wanted Adonis to be able to stand alone, and the trilogy was going to explore his past and the things that had shaped him. The main reason for Stallone's absence from Creed III is the continuous legal battle between him and Winkler regarding the ownership of the Rocky film series. This ongoing debate raises the possibility that Stallone may never play Rocky again. Stallone effectively gave up those rights back in the day, when he was just an up-and-coming actor and had no idea how valuable they were. In November of last year, Stallone candidly talked about his decision to sever connections with the Rocky franchise for Creed in an interview with Jessica Shaw of SiriusXM. The dispute between Stallone and Winkler around the rights to Rocky resurfaced in 2022 after Stallone shared an image of Winkler on Instagram that had since been removed, portraying her as a snake with a tongue made of blades, along with a scathing commentary. As long as Winkler has control, Stallone's adored figure is in limbo, despite the appearance of a reconciliation between him and Dolph Lundgren, who played Ivan Drago in the Rocky series. Stallone called Winkler domineering and suggested that they should be exploited, stating that he wanted to reclaim some of his rights before transferring them. Speaking out against injustices in Hollywood, such as bias against his late buddy Carl Weathers, is nothing new for Stallone. Stallone remains a belligerent character in real life as well as on screen. Sylvester Stallone would never have accomplished what he did with Rocky without the sadly gone great friend and collaborator Carl Weathers. He was very remarkable. I'm standing in front of this artwork because, although it was a tragic loss, it was probably the last time we ever shared a ring together. He was magical, and I will always remember his voice, his size, his power, and his athleticism. I will never forget it. Above all, though, are his heart and soul. Evidently touched by Weathers' passing, Stallone thought, I was very fortunate to be a part of his life. I'm having a really bad day. The extent of my sadness at Carl Weathers' demise is beyond words. Withholding emotions, Stallone remarked, he was such an important part of my life, my achievement, and everything about it. Thinking back to that first meeting, he realized that Weathers had had a huge impact on both his life and the success of the long-running Rocky movie series. In a moving moment, Stallone stood in front of the artwork and complimented Weathers on his intellect, strength of voice, size, athleticism, and, most importantly, his heart and soul. Without Weathers, Stallone admitted, they could not have accomplished what they did with Rocky. He signed off, fighting back tears.
I'm standing in front of this painting because I'll never forget it, and it was likely the last time we ever shared a ring together, he concluded. I was so fortunate to have been a part of his life. He was a magician, therefore Apollo, continue punching. This loving tribute sheds light on the profound impact Carl Weathers had on Stallone's life, both personally and professionally. After Stallone's touching homage to his friend aroused concerns about the discrimination Weathers faced, particularly in the Rocky series, fans conjectured that there might be more to the story. It's incredible to consider that Weathers wasn't originally selected to play Apollo Creed. Sylvester Stallone couldn't help but take notice of a remark made by Weathers during a screenplay reading, because it so impressed him. After Stallone's persistent efforts, Carl Weathers was cast as Apollo Creed, providing audiences with one of the most iconic figures in cinematic history. Stallone told the truth in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, admitting that it was Weathers' remark that got him the part.
In an interview with The Rich Eisen Show, Weathers himself disclosed that following a draft scene reading, he abruptly blurted out a remark about wanting a real actor to work with, inadvertently making fun of the film's star, Sylvester Stallone. Stallone realized he had to cast him because the phrase felt so true to the role. Because of his part in the classic 1987 movie Predator, among other things, Weathers encountered difficulties in Hollywood. His character Dylan in that movie stood on an equal footing with Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dutch, defying preconceptions for a black guy at the time. Their macho handshake went viral and became a symbol of a turning point in cinematic history. Its influence extended beyond its aesthetic worth, particularly when Arnold Schwarzenegger was the undisputed king of Hollywood. Nobody in Commando has ever seen a screen match lift tree trunks with the ease of groceries. Action Jackson, the 1988 movie, was acclaimed as Mr. Everything, a label that Weathers sarcastically gave him on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. However, with the release of Predator, director John McTiernan changed the course of events. Weathers' character, Dylan, wasn't just an afterthought, he received the same respect as Arnold Schwarzenegger's action figures. It was hinted that Dylan had softened as a result of his new job as a CIA desk jockey, even after he lost the renowned arm wrestling battle. Stereotypes were questioned by this cinematic revolution, which also suitably highlighted Weathers' abilities. As the narrative goes on, controversy casts a shadow over Sylvester Stallone's reputation, despite his ascent from poverty to Hollywood celebrity status. Life presents a distinct image. Consider this February morning in 2016 is like any other, right before the Me Too movement took off. Headlines hit like a ton of bricks as you're enjoying your morning coffee and going through your newsfeed. A remarkable report has appeared, claiming that there is a turbulent path hidden beneath the macho. The news that iconic actor Sylvester Stallone, who starred in Rocky and Rambo, was involved in a troubling situation involving a juvenile is startling. This legendary action hero has long served as an inspiration for many of us. The incident was initially reported in the Baltimore Post-Examiner and occurred at least 37 years ago. The Hollywood celebrity allowed a third participant into their group, who was later identified as his former bodyguard, Michael the Duke DeLuca, according to the police report that was submitted 2 days after the event. While Stallone was filming Over the Top, his 1987 picture, at the Las Vegas Hilton on July 26, 1986, this incident occurred. It is said that Stallone and DeLuca forced the girl to have oral sex before DeLuca paid her at Stallone's home in Suite 2767. The article reportedly referenced Stallone's remark that they were both married men, implying dire repercussions if she reported the incident. Many years later, the victim admitted to having questions about the episodes, which were eventually confirmed by retired Las Vegas Metro Police Department Detective Sergeant John Svitch and the Baltimore Post-Examiner. The victim, who at first chose not to press charges against the guys, subsequently stated that Stallone should be held responsible for his acts because of the long-lasting effects they had on her. She said that even though the victim was afraid and outraged, she wasn't sure she wanted to file charges against Stallone and DeLuca if the disturbing and violent story in the police report was accurate. She would never have followed up if the experience had simply concerned Stallone. But with DeLuca involved, things became very different. Today, this tale came to light without Stallone's knowledge. The police report states that he was never approached by the authorities or anybody else about this incident. After being humiliated, she later signed a no prosecution form to end the case. Similar claims have been made against Stallone in the past. However, the issue was settled out of court when his late half-sister threatened to sue him in 1987. In 2013, an additional individual connected to the 1986 police report was also involved in an incident involving police gunfire. Furthermore, Stallone has been the target of other allegations, all of which he has denied, harming his reputation. In 2017, Stallone was accused of importing illegal human growth hormone into Australia, but because he had already pleaded guilty in 2007 and was no longer in the country, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office decided in 2018 that there was insufficient evidence to prosecute him for the claims made between 1987 and 1990. He claimed to have utilized the hormones for a medical condition under medical care and to be unaware of any limits imposed by customs. Subscribe Rumor Spill for more videos.